Hello. It's funny because I film these videos like once a week, so you guys are seeing the hair growth week by week. But today I'm just filming a quick video just to not only document how my days, or rather weeks, look these days, but also to hopefully give you guys some value and actually help with time management so you can become a more productive person and manage your time more effectively. So to start with, I have an image of a quadrant, or 4 quadrants actually, and this is from Stephen Covey's book The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, where you can see here you have Q1, quadrant 1, which is important and urgent. So an example of this would be probably if something bad happened to one of your loved ones, so you should probably do that right away. But here you have important but not urgent. So important but not urgent is things like the work you need to do to grow your business, right? It's great. It's important because otherwise your business is not going to grow, but it's not urgent in the moment. You can do it at any time throughout the day. And as long as it gets done, that's what matters. But it's not urgent. Then Q3, not important, but urgent. Now, these are things you should try and avoid. Reason being, this is, for example, if you're doing your work in your office or your room, and let me actually just go over this on Q3 and then I'll switch it to my face so it's not so boring. Q4, obviously this is just ways, so self-explanatory. But the problem is people get stuck in Q3 too often because Q3 involves things like you're reading, okay? Say you're reading, which is a Q2 task or activity, where it's important but not urgent, right? Reading is crucial to developing your wisdom, right? Becoming smarter, more intellectual. However, it's not urgent because it's not like you need to really quickly read the book or something happens, right? It's just important. Whereas Q3 is where people get stuck or caught up in too often. Q3 is things that seem important, but they're not. They're just urgent and not important. So these are things like if you're doing your work in your office and someone just comes into your room, right? Just like comes in through the door suddenly and they're going, blah, 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 this needs done. I need this and this. I'm trying to think of a good example. But it's things that you know you shouldn't be doing because they're not actually important. It's just in the moment they seem important because they're urgent. So probably a reasonable example of this is if someone came through to your room and said, look quick, there's a fight going on outside, right? A fight going on outside is realistically not important because it's not going to help you in building success. You don't need to see this fight. I mean, you don't care. However, if someone makes it out as important, it's urgent in the moment and it will seem important because of that. Or if someone, your brother comes through, look at these clothes I ordered, right? When you know you should be doing your work, which is the important thing, the disruption and sudden urgency makes it seem important in the moment, but it's not. And you have to delegate or remove, avoid or reject, as it says here, these kinds of tasks because they are not worth your time so much most of the time. Maybe there are a few examples where they could be, but probably not, because if they were, then they're going to be in Q1, which is important and urgent, right? And you should try and avoid these because these are things that have suddenly come up that are probably, well, they're not important, but they're urgent and thus they seem important. So Q2 is actually where you should ideally be most of the time, because this is things that you plan for yourself to do, and thus you get them done because you've planned to do them, right? This is why Stephen Covey recommends to plan on a weekly basis rather than on a daily basis. Reason being, if you plan on a weekly basis, you will put in your calendar or planner, okay, I need to do 2 or 3 or 4 things that day to make it a successful day, right? Let's say that's go on a walk, like it's rest day and you're going on a walk. You want to come back and you want to read. You want to read that day for 1 hour, 2 hours. And then 3 could be there's a deep work block for you to do. There's something you need to get done. And then 4 could be prepare something for the next day, whatever it could be, right? And this way you're actually planning out the week, what you want to do and accomplish each day of the week. So you do this obviously on Sundays. You can do it any day, but Sunday is probably the ideal day. And then this way you're not planning the day before, because the issue then is if you plan, for example, actually I'm saying this wrong, you just plan for the day what you want to do instead of hour by hour. Because if you do it hour by hour, then if something disrupts your schedule and then the hour passes by or runs into the next thing, sometimes you might think, well, the time's already passed and I've already, gone through this block of where I was supposed to do this thing, so probably just not going to do it anymore, just move on to the next thing. Whereas if you just say, I need to do these 3, 4 things that day, you just make sure to get them done that day. Now, to make things clear, I'm not saying this is the be-all, end-all way to plan and schedule. Absolutely not. I'm 100% sure there are plenty of other ways to plan out your days and weeks effectively. This is just one that I've come across that I'm right now finding valuable and effective. So I'm just recommending it. However, I'm, like I said, certain there are plenty of other ways to effectively plan out your time, right? So just as an example, I will show my planner. So this is why I said it's both to give value, but also to actually document, because it will be interesting in the future to have a look at how my days looked back then, which is now, obviously. So these days, for example, what I would do is just have Monday would be push day, and then I do ads, testing. And you might think, why is there only 2 things? Well, I just do cold calling every day, okay? So Monday is push day, ads testing, and I do ads testing Mondays and Thursdays, sales call reviews Tuesdays and Fridays, and then reading Wednesdays and Saturdays. And then it's just push, pull, legs, but I do usually push, legs, pull, so that when it comes to run day, I haven't just done legs the day before, space them out. And then starting today, I think I'm going to, well, I don't think I will, do a pull on sauna every day. And then I plan my week out, analyze how the previous week is gone. It's changed a little bit over time. Like you can see, I did a 24K on New Year's Day. There's 4 things here. Like I wanted to finish, what's this? The Millionaire Master Plan I was finishing. And the thing is, I don't have it listed because like I said, I just do it every day at the moment, which I don't do because I want to do. I hate it. But Monday to Saturday, I cold call from 1 p.m. to 9 p.m. So essentially 8 hours of standing and cold calling, which I don't want to say I'm proud to say, because I'm not. Because I really don't want to do it, right? I'm not doing it because I want to. I'm doing it because I recognize, yes, there are other ways to make money. It's just the one that I've stuck to, and I will continue to do it as much as I dread it, to build my agency and to help my family, provide for them. live a fulfilling life, and inspire others to do the same. So right now I'm doing like a 90-day monk mode where I'm working consistently, just cold calling Monday to Saturday every week from the beginning of the year essentially to the end of March. And yes, I have sales calls in between my cold calling. So like if I'm cold calling 1 p.m. to 9 p.m, I'll have a few sales calls in there in between, but overall I just stand and cold call. And yeah, I really look forward to just getting into a different season or stage of my life where that's not what I'm doing on a daily basis, and instead I'm doing other creative, more fulfilling tasks. Because realistically, I do not see myself as a salesperson, as a cold caller, as they say, a solicitor. It's honestly painful to hear. I just do it because I recognize that I need to, and I just need to do what needs to be done, right? Now with that, on the side of building my agency, I also am building a brand, which is BMega. I'll show. So BMega is, let's see, personal home. I have I like listing things out on Notion. Like I really like making things organized, which is actually really interesting because I'm supposedly a right-brained person, where right-brained people are creative and they like aesthetics and art, and usually supposedly they're quite messy people, being someone who likes art or creativity, like music, all these kind of things. Supposedly, usually they are, I'm pretty sure this is correct, more messy people. I hate when people say more messier. Messier just means more messy, so pick one, more messy or messier. Either way, it means supposedly I'm a messier person and less organized, which is funny because I actually really like organizing things and being organized and planning and having things just like work smoothly, right? I mean, my room, ignore the sheets I have right now because other ones are in the wash. Don't make fun of me for them, but I like to just organize everything. I mean, not much there, but my desk is, I would say, organized. Either way, I like to plan out my weeks and everything. I like to have everything organized and just running smoothly. Which is why here I just have, for example, principles, where I have my monk mode principles in here, and my number one principle, just to live with integrity. Like my vision and lessons that I learned from myself and other people. Kaizen is essentially just things I want to implement to my life to become better. Content and then projects, BMega. So this is the brand I'm looking to build just now, and as it says here, it's a brand with a holistic approach whose mission it is to help people ascend in all areas of life. This includes health and fitness, mental and emotional, purpose and spirituality, relationships and fulfillment, personal and financial development. And I have just different subcategories for all of these things. And I plan to build this brand just to help people, like it says there, ascend in all areas of life, right? Because there's plenty of programs that are, make 10K in whatever, right? Just get rich quick. You could say schemes, although the truth is, many of these people think get rich quick. People think get rich quick is a scam, although really it's possible to get rich quick. It just requires a lot of work. You just have to be someone who's willing to put in the work, and you have to be dedicated, right? So it is possible, 100%. That's what I'm trying to do. And actually, let's change the phrasing. I am doing, because I will not stop until I make it happen. Either way, there's plenty of programs out there, right, to make money with AI or agency courses, all this. But I don't think there really is anyone who's doing this, helping people ascend in all areas of life. That'd be fitness, biohacking, building great relationships with people around you. So not only becoming more influential to people you don't know and people you do know, but also having better relationships with people close to you, like your family and maybe even your romantic relationships, your purpose and spirituality, so being set on purpose, personal financial development, so making money does come in there. Financial development, I also want to help people make money in that sector category. And essentially I just want to help people in all areas of life. Now, I don't know how this is going to play out exactly yet, although my vision or plan is that potentially I build a community of people first, which I'm doing by creating content like this, although mainly the content I create on X, Twitter, which I've started doing more now. Like once a week I create a whole like value post, like a thread, which I like because I love just sitting down, putting like gamma waves on, so that's like deep focus music, and just creating, just utilizing my creativity. I much prefer that over standing and cold calling. I hate that. So every Sunday morning, before going to sauna, I do a deep work block and I create something. Today the post was on becoming more valuable to the market as a person. And that's something I've started doing to provide value to my audience, which at the moment is like 6 followers I have on X right now, of which 2 are my friends. Another 2 of the accounts is my brother's personal account and another one, and then some other 2, or there's a third friend and someone else. But yeah, hopefully it can grow a little bit in the future, and I can build a community where not only am I giving value to the community, but because it's a community, people are providing value to each other, right? And that's something that's irreplaceable by AI. Community and personal development, of which I plan to provide both. Okay, a community and personal development, where potentially I start off by answering questions myself. Once I become even more immersed in all these subjects and I become more intellectual with all these things, that's why I set out a deep work block to write about these things, because in doing so I learn about them. And then in the future, potentially I can have one person as like a financial coach to take the calls. So I have like, for example, 5 calls a week. One person that's good with relationships and, relationships with people. So people that come to mind, which obviously wouldn't be in my course. Well, who knows? But people like this are, Dale Carnegie. He wrote How to Win Friends and Influence People. Stephen Covey, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. He's really good with like managing people and relationships. Someone, for health and biohacking, someone for fitness, and all these things. And yeah, that's how I plan to build it out. Now, from the beginning, the thing is, obviously, I'm not qualified in each of these things. Now, this depends on whether you believe, you need a certificate, a bit of paper to help other people, in a certain space. But the truth is, and I actually think I will teach this in my financial development section of my course or, program, community, we'll see. And instead of, maybe I will teach agency too. Obviously I'm teaching building an agency, but I think what I will help people with is creating a brand like I'm doing, so they can teach their own thing. Even if even if you just like golf, for example, you can build a community of people who like golf, and I think there's like 6 million English speaking people who like golf and 8 million overall, something like that. You could be a mum who likes yoga and you help other mums with yoga, with their passion, right? You teach your passion and you make money and you help people improve their lives teaching what you love, earning while you're doing it, right? So I love coaching and mentoring and giving my own advice, which is why I really want to become immersed and build my wisdom and intellect in all of these subjects to really help people in all of these various subjects. Now, obviously, I'm not a professional in any of them. Maybe the one I'm most qualified in at the moment is health and exercise, because I've been training for almost 3 years and I have a relatively decent physique for my age group. I'm probably in the top whatever percent, I don't really care. Either way, I've built a relatively decent physique, and that's something I could help people with most at the moment. That's also why I'm building an agency to make money, to be qualified to teach these kind of things, because the truth is, anyone can do this, right? You do not need to be an expert, so like a 10 in your space to help someone start and do this, okay? If you're teaching and helping someone who's a 0 on a scale of 1 to 10, or 0 to 10 in this case, if they're a 0 and you're a 3, you can provide very valuable information to them because you're already ahead. You're not an expert. You don't even need to be a 5 or a 6 or an 8 or a 10. Even if you're just a 3 or 4, you're a few steps ahead of them. You can help them in their journey and you can be very valuable to them so they can get to your position, right? And even while you're teaching them, realistically, you're going to be learning more as you teach them, most likely. So as you teach them, you're going to be becoming a 4, a 5, a 6 by teaching them and by learning while you teach them, right? Either way, you just need to be a few steps ahead to help and teach other people. So just that to say, anyone can do this, really, whatever your passion is, whether it's mountain biking, you can create a community of mountain bikers, who knows? It's something everyone can do, right? And it's really what is going on just now with the School Games, that Alex Hormozi, I think, is a co-host of it, or co-founder of School. Either way, if anyone is familiar with School, that's something they're hosting right now, the School Games. And it's a thing where it's essentially a competition, as far as I'm aware, to build a community. And it's a great way to make money. Build a community of people whom you want to teach. Is that correct? Either way, you want to teach these people your passion, right? With that, I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to go get lunch and go on a walk with family. And I hope you found this video valuable. So thank you. Until next time.